Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Ville Chillin' Podcast. Today, we just thought we would talk about some of our favorite local brands, from seasonings to drinks to some chips that are pretty local to us. So, hang out, and we're going to talk about probably some of your favorites and definitely some of our favorites. All right, so again, we're going to talk about some local Louisville brands, some brands surrounding the area. It's just some things that we've had and enjoyed, and we wanted to kind of shout out because there's actually a lot of brands and like things here in Louisville that don't get enough recognition, in my mind.
Definitely.
So first up, we got Bloomers. I mean, once I used it, chili's not the same without it, in my mind.
Dude, my parents always used Bloomers. I didn't know it was from here. Like, I didn't find that out until just a few years ago, but growing up, like, that's all my parents ever used.
My parents just used kind of like whatever store brand, where they were. And it's funny because you go to like Meijer or Kroger around here, and I don't find it with the seasonings. I find it with like the gravy packets, So you kind of have to look for it. And I've never actually used the base, just the actual powder seasoning. So I need to try the base. And they have like a hot base and an original base, which is cool.
Yeah, with a little bit of extra heat. And the cool thing is, like, if you go to if you go to any of the local restaurants around here, if they have like their own like in-house chili, the reason a lot of them taste very similar is because they're using the Bloomers. Like, the reason it kind of sticks out has like a specific, like a lot of it has like very strong cumin, the paprika and stuff. They're using Bloomers.
I mean, there's no reason not to. It's delicious. I mean, it's very concentrated, but it's very good. And like I said, I do like that they have like a hot and an original, because I mean, you know what? Our chili's so hot that most people probably can't eat it, but a lot of people like chili without the heat. To each their own, I guess. But yeah, they are from here, which is pretty awesome. And they've been around a long time, right?
Just celebrated almost
1919.
Over 100 years.
Yeah. Bloomer's chili base was first made in 1919 in the back of his neighborhood grocery store. So, pretty cool. But talking about seasoning, I think that brings us to one that's definitely big and that we didn't know that was from here. Danos. Like, I've seen them all over YouTube the last couple of years and didn't really know they were from here until recently.
Right, yeah, your aunt kind of brought the conversation. It's one of those ones that I see it everywhere. I just haven't had the chance to try it. You made a point it was on OVW, right?
Yeah.
So, like...
Yeah, they were featured...
I didn't connect the dots.
Yeah, I don't know if they sponsor. I think they sponsor OVW some, and that was kind of brought up during the whole Netflix special. So, I mean, talking about a Louisville brand that continues to support Louisville and the Louisville community, that has just really gone viral, honestly. Like, so many of the videos have just gone viral nationwide. The whole yum yum get you some is definitely a slogan. I'd like to hear the history behind that. Wonder if it's like a family saying or something. But they've definitely blown up out of nowhere.
Yep, I'm definitely embarrassed I haven't tried them yet, so next time I get some steaks, I'm gonna...
Right, exactly.
Give me some Dano seasoning.
And kind of along the flavor train, if you will, because we're just talking about flavor. Peppers, this company, they're actually in Radcliffe, but Peppers Are Paradise. We've talked about them a little bit before, but I really love their hot sauces. The Green Ghost, Green Ghost and Friends, and the Scarlet Sting are like two of my favorite hot sauces, honestly. But then they have pickles and like a barbecue sauce and, different things. But those two are just delicious. And, as two fans of hot peppers, it's hard to find hot peppers locally, really. Like you can find them pre-dried at Value Market. You can find the scorpions. You can find some ghosts sometimes, but to find like fresh peppers is pretty much impossible. So it's cool to see that somebody here in Kentucky is, I mean, hard, growing this amount of peppers, bottling sauces. And then moving into some drinks, we got a Paradise Island tea. You had brought them up for the list, right? It's a locally bottled.
Yeah, they're awesome. Yeah, local brand. One thing like Kentucky is known for is tea, I think, or just like anything southern. A lot of whenever I talk to people outside, anything north of Kentucky, they don't drink tea, and like when they go to restaurants, tea isn't there. If you go anywhere, up north, a lot of times you can't find it. To where here, it's everywhere. I feel like you grow up and there's always sweet tea or iced tea, and they do really good like marketing.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the story here, and it sounds like it started with a vacation to Paradise Island in the Bahamas and just trying to capture some of those flavors. So that's really cool to just see brands like that thriving here, because when you go to their locations, I mean, they got locations in Louisville and Clarksville. As far as Kroger's where you can really find them. There's like pretty much every Kroger in Louisville, several in Lexington, some in Shepherdsville, like some in southern Indiana. So definitely a growing local brand if you enjoy iced tea, which pretty much everybody in Louisville seems to. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I could definitely see it, at those restaurants too. Just like you go to McDonald's and get your sweet tea, I could see you getting your, Paradise Island, tea as well. It'd be awesome.
yeah. And then another one, not Louisville, but Kentucky, is Ale 81.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, it started here in Winchester, Kentucky. And I was always a fan. It was big with my dad. My dad loved them, so he would always get the 6-packs of the bottles, and they weren't really even that big when he was finding them around here. Like, it was kind of hard to find sometimes. He wouldn't get them if there wasn't the bottles. But it's not just your typical ginger ale. It's not that dry. It's a citrus ginger ale almost. So it's very different. But it's delicious and something that Kentucky is known for. Like, I've heard of people driving through and making sure to get a couple packs of Ale 81 to take home.
Well, and then people even, use it as medicine. Like, that was something, especially, back in the, 20s, 30s, like, they would have a couple bottles there just for, upset stomachs, things like that.
Yeah.
And they just now, like you said, that your pops, had trouble finding it. Well, it just now started really being strongly distributed, like throughout, like outside of Kentucky, throughout Kentucky, and then out, like, I think Indiana,
in the region,
Ohio, like just back in like 2001. So it's one of those brands that's been around for a while and it's continuing to grow.
Yeah, exactly. It's awesome. I love them. I don't really get them enough, mostly because when I do, they're pretty much gone immediately. It's something that's it's really good. It's like I shouldn't say that. I guess it's almost like a better Sprite. It's a ginger ale Sprite type thing.
No, it is better. It's definitely better. Sprite bit off Elf 8 for sure.
But it is very good.
I don't even call it Sprite. I just call it Flat L8. Don't you? Well, that's what it's called.
Minus the ginger.
No, so.
So to round it out and close it out, I guess we wanted to bring up Spuds, right? It's a local, basically potato chip / popcorn company that kind of got big here, started here. They're produced off Crittenden Drive, I believe.
Right down the street.
And they got 3 different chip flavors, 3 different popcorn flavors. So Kentucky barbecue, Irish pub style, and sweet chili Thai. And then Cheese Fiend popcorn, Fire and Spice popcorn, and Nutty Caramel Craze popcorn. So I've definitely seen them popping up. I haven't had it yet. but it sounds good. It definitely sounds interesting, and it's just like another cool brand that, I mean, they're getting picked up in all the gas stations for a reason, right?
I didn't know that. Same. I didn't know they were local. I've tried the Kentucky barbecue, really good. But yeah, I didn't know they were from here. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, Circle K 5-star. I think that's where I first started seeing them, and then now you can get them in Kroger, Value Market, IGA, and stuff. So very cool, and it sounds like you can even order them online. So, I think it was like 12 counts. You buy them by like the 12 count online. Just some of the other brands that we like, and then I guess to kind of round it out, not necessarily Louisville or even Kentucky brands. There's other local brands from this region that deserve an honorable shout out in my mind, like Grippo's. You know, even though it's not here, but it's basically here.
It's right across the bridge. Yeah, I mean, Grippo's. There's a reason why they've. When I think of Grippo's, I think of Big Red too, though. Like, also another thing that isn't from here. Yep. But the reason people like Grippo's and Big Red's so like ingrained is because of how much it's been distributed here.
Yeah. Big Red got picked up by RC Cola, I think, distributing, and so that was pretty much based here. And then yeah, the Grippo's, they're right across, in Cincinnati, so pretty dang close. And it's just cool to see all these brands that pretty much start local and regional, because there's people that not from here who have no idea what Grippos are, especially the barbecue chips. One thing that we did see while we were kind of looking at it earlier, though, is that they started out with the pretzels. I didn't know they started out with the pretzels. I always knew them for the barbecue chips, right?
I didn't know that. Yeah, like those seasons of the Grippo potato chips, right? Like,
yeah,
that's where it's at.
The one kind of chips you can get where there's more seasoning left in the bag than there is chips by the end. You know what I mean? Like,
and then I didn't know that they had the actual seasoning like by itself until like just a couple years ago also. But like, even though it's in Cincinnati, it definitely reminds me of that Kentucky flavor kind of.
It feels like home, right? So definitely a couple honorable mentions there. And I mean, I'm sure there's a ton more if we really sat here and thought about it. Like you said, Big Red, I didn't know that they were kind of like, Louisville was so closely associated with the whole start of the distribution of Big Red. That's crazy. So
yeah, we'll definitely have to talk about that a little bit more on future episodes, go into more, Louisville products, Kentucky products, because there's a lot more. This is something we kind of thought of here recently.
Yeah, we were just like, over the holidays, just looking into different brands, like, wow, there's really a lot from here that we didn't even know, and it's nationwide attention. So definitely cool, and we'll definitely touch on it more. So I guess with that, we will see you next time.
See y'all next time.